What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and this is the football news for on the January 8th, 9th, the January 9th, 2025 for you all today, and we're going to be talking about what exactly happened in the wildest and intriguing news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know from the Yahoo Sports article, and then we're going to have things start off with Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders like about their first prize isn't a coach or a quarterback, like it's Mark Davis. This is in inability like to find his own identity. And it says right here that silver and black roots, what it means to be a Raider, and it says understanding like the Raider way. Like these are the ties that suffocate like another year, like another head coach, all in the pursuit of the fading yellowing images like of what a franchise used to be and how it might be again, like all like setting the stage for the next chapter of the Los Angeles slash Oakland slash Las Vegas Raiders, like whose biggest problem is not a head coach or quarterback, but an owner who keeps like rocking like the Alexander Roxton, like the identity of the father Al Davis, like rather than meaningful, like and like patiently like crafting like one of his owners or one of his own, I should say. Like it's like in it me isn't it it's nation game like under Mark Davis, and it says like this like that is like and now five copies like keep and breathe and bleached into like nothingness like nothingness from Dennis Allen, like Jack Del Rio, like John Gruden, to Josh McDaniels, and now like Antonio Pierce, to whoever Davis believes gets his team like in a legacy closer to a heyday, like that has like sparsely appeared since like the be like six head coaches. Like Davis has hired like in the 13 years like since he took over the franchise after his father's death, like all of whom came in espousing their own personal understanding like about what it meant like to be and promising to recapture a proud history that was growing more distant by the year. And they came like trying to restore like the Raider way, like and how they went like with their results, like most often like represent like a Raider way, like that has been uh, redefined like in two decades, like and of damning what's that damning from familiar familiarity filled with like medi medical creative unfulfilled promises and a bloated payroll of defunct defunct coaching hires pushed into the enter a pattern of results like under ownership that, to be fair, like wasn't simply a product like of Mark Davis, like but also like an extension like in Al's final years, like tracing history all the way back like to the firing of Ardale, like in following like the 1994 season, like which triggered like an unfathomable a formidable run like of what I will be a 15th head coach of in 31 years once Pierce replacement is named. Like this is like a trend, like it's a wreckage, like and it like what did I say? Like it continues like today, like out of the pursuit of of a culture like that doesn't exist like and hasn't existed like consistently like since the mid 1990s. Like it's a creeping like plague like that is no different like than Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones still living a fever dream like in remembrances like of the teams like from officiated like by who's wandering like impatient like from one like coach like in like like manager to the next is no different like than what made former team owner like Dan Snyder like a staging like on field like failure with his uh with his Washington franchise like all the punctuated punctuated like punctuated like by a sudden what is it, like whistle so this like at a quarterback, like which was presented with meaningful resolutions, like in the 2024 draft, but oddly lacked like the Raider like way, like aggression, like to enact like a plan. And as to be clear, like this isn't like a criticism like of Pierce's firing. Like it is a condemn a condemnation like of the process like that created the juncture beginning like with Davis like rebooting like the team under Pierce in 2023 like after convening like with Max Crosby, like Devontae Adams, and Josh Jacobs, to whom like aren't on the was that the roster like anymore, like and then choosing a head coach like who has now gone too like all setting like in motion like a 2024 path like that veered like into a crater like and it says starting like with a failure to secure a real answer like at quarterback of Pierce, then ending with sending him out to address the media one day like before he found out like he was being fired. Like it was a situation so awkward like inside the team's headquarters like that like according to sources like who spoke with Yahoo Sports like Pierce and already like started like discussing like potential coaching staff changes like hours before he learned like but when more he was losing his job. Like the disjointed, like and embarrassing, like ending, like needed like a one paragraph send off, and this what stated on it. The Las Vegas Raiders like have received Antonio Pierce like of the duties like as head coach. We appreciate Antonio's leadership, like first as an interim head coach, and this past season as the head coach. Like Antonio, I grew up like five Raiders fan, up to five Raiders fans, like and his silver and black roots, like run deep, like we will gratefully like for his ability to reignite like what it means to be a Raider throughout like the entire organization. We wish nothing but the best for Antonio and his family in the future. But what are your thoughts on to this new owner of the Raiders Mr. Antonio Pierce? And do you think he'll be much more than any of the other last 30 of the coaches from the last 30 over 30 seasons? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But that's very interesting to see, and I'm not sure if I'm not really interested into this, considering that I am a fan, much rather of a fan of the other team that's in the AFC West division. Like and they're the arch rivals of that specific team, but we're going to talk about that in a different video in a different day. But yeah, let me know in the comment section right down below, and we will be seeing like we will be talking about some more stuff in football, including Sunday night football game of the wild card game between the Washington Commanders against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, live in Raymond James Stadium. Like, well, I'm not going to actually be there, but I'm saying like that they're going to be live there, and I'm going to be talking to here in my little hideout here when I'm doing my podcast out. But moving on, we got So yeah, let me know in the comment section right down below what your opinions about this. I'll say he'll be second place, maybe. Like if he have such credentials of leading the team to reach playoff berths and having better records rather than being the worst record in the season, which I was thinking, and given that they're fourth place right now, like maybe this could be a huge turnaround by 20. I'll say by 2025, but we're just gonna have to wait and see when we talk about it here on the SNA podcast, and see what's the difference. But for now, like judging what we've been seeing, like it's not exactly what you would be actually proud of. Like if in the Raiders fans' point of view. But anyways, let's move on. We got looking forward at some some bad NFL head coach openings. Like it's not a great year to be a top candidate. And it says right here that Ben Johnson like decided like last offseason to come back to the Detroit Lions like for another season as their offensive coordinator put off becoming like an NFL head coach for another year. Like he also has to look around and wonder like if he should keep waiting. Like, and it's what and and yeah, and it's what yeah Johnson had to say, or not Johnson. Well, it states right here without without them showing who said it. It says Aaron, Glenn, Brian, Flores, and Liam Cohen, Cliff Cliff Kingsbury or any other top candidate in this cycle. Like the options like are not great. Like the way there were six openings as of Thursday, and every single one has serious drawbacks. Like that's generally the issue with teams that led to them like firing their head coach. Like this particular, especially bad for Johnson or any other coach looking for a good landing spot over the long term. Like and it says right here that that the teams like with openings like can sail like that they have one like of 32 head coaches head coaching like I should say head coaching jobs like and that's about it. Daily like draw like is now here. Well, oh, this is talking about the betting thing, but none of the six like openings are enticing, and it says right here. And it says like, what's the next opening this cycle? Like in question like this. I mean, the answer could be none of them. Like it says right here that each of the six reason like for Paul's like for a candidate like not wanting to jump into a bad situation, and it says right here like the Chicago Bears like the have that the Chicago Bears have something to sell, like, and that's Caleb Williams. Williams is no sure thing, like after an up and down rookie season, but let's assume a candidate like believes like the top pick of the 2024 NFL draft is a future star. The rest of the franchise isn't good. The team like hasn't won a Super Bowl in almost 4 decades. Yeah, wow, that's very shocking for a Super Bowl trophy. But yeah, that's crazy. The last time they won a Super Bowl was all the way back in the '80s. Like, and do you think like next season it could be do you think you'll have a better chance of winning next season, or what do you think? Which with all respect, like to the Bears, even if they did found some good teams, it seemed like even for it's go and win. So I would say for those statistics, I like even if they'll be good and they'll be leading them to the NFC North Championship, like what they try to do with Mitchell Trubisky, like even though he was pretty good and average, but that doesn't mean he was like a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. With no disrespect to that quarterback, but yeah, and I heard that he's now because like the quarterback is just to work from there, and then give him about a year or so after that, like the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes example. Like with them seeing him like when he was a rookie, when he was a back when starting with the backup quarterback when Alex Smith was the starter, they were still like being at their average good selves, like being the number one in the AFC West division, like and winning the AFC West championships and stuff like that. They couldn't get into the Super Bowl. Like they couldn't even get to the AFC championship game championship spot. But ever since Patrick Mahomes then got in the ever since Patrick Mahomes became the starter quarterback, he always at least lead the Chiefs into the AFC Championship. Like for the first 5 years, it was in at their home field. They always keep getting home field advantage, even if they're like second seed, they somehow get to the number one spot. With the number one team that has the number one seed gets eliminated. Like with the likes of Baltimore and Tennessee being in the past, they always host the AFC until like last season when the Chiefs went to Baltimore, like when they got the number one seed again, but they managed to beat them in the AFC championship and earn himself a spot at the Super Bowl, which that's the first time. Actually, I saw the Chiefs like had to play in the playoff game away with Patrick Mahomes like is the head quarterback. But anyways, yeah, let me know in the comments below. Like, do you think that we could see like the Chicago Bears could have a huge transformation? But like I said, they're probably like one or two like out of 10 like have a chance of winning the Super Bowl next season. But let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree onto this note. But this is where we got the this is where next up we got the Los Angeles wildfire and the Lakers game I postponed. NFL contingent contingencies, contingency like plans like as coaches like athletes are impacted like by fires. Let me phrase that with a capital with a capital plural, and it says right here that a Kings game like was postponed like while NFL announced plans like if Rams can't host like a playoff game in Inglewood, and it says right here the three intense yeah, and destructive wildfires are raging in Southern California, like in fueling fueled like by the powerful Santa Ana wines, like the education orders, like which now include parts of the Los Angeles area, like have like caused tens of thousands of people to flee their their homes. Like the fires, of course, are also like impacting like athletes and like sporting like events across the city. Like NFL has a contingency planned for Rams Vikings game. Oh yeah, that's in the playoffs, and they will be in the SoFi Stadium in the wild round like this weekend. Like and the Los Angeles Rams are set to host the Minnesota Vikings on Monday in SoFi Stadium, and is located in Inglewood, is about 10 miles southeast of the where the Palisades the Palisades fires is burning but the situation is evolving rapidly. The NFL said it plans to play that game as scheduled, but it announced a contingency plan on Wednesday afternoon. If necessary, if necessary, the game would be moved to State Farm Arena, to the State Farm Stadium in Arizona, which is home to the Arizona Cardinals, the rivals of the Los Angeles Rams. It would it will still take place on Monday night. The NFL said in a statement that it will continue to closely monitor developments and will remain in contact with public officials both clubs and the NFL PA. And it says on Thursday Rams head coach Sean McVay said he expect the game to be played at SoFi Stadium. But here's a video of the on to the press conference on for their wild card game against the Vikings. Despite the wildfires been going on for the past from this past week in the biggest city, in the second biggest. I mean, that's the biggest, the second biggest state in the United States. Let me rephrase that. And here you go. Here's the video of it.
Affected by it's it's one of those deals that it gives you perspective, and so hopefully get this stuff under control. And it's been a unique week. Fortunately for us, there's been some people that have been affected in regards to power outages, recommended evacuation. A couple of our staff members did have their homes affected, but fortunately, to my knowledge, nobody has been injured, and for that we're grateful.
And what are your thoughts on the statement? And do you think it's a good idea that the game will still be hosted at SoFi despite all the wildfires in Southern California? Or do you think it'll be best and safe, even if there are it's not going to be a fire, it's going to be attacking the what's that called? That's not going to be interfering in the game in some capacity. Like even if there wasn't, it's probably the best safe and smart move to move it over to the SoFi Stadium. That's a Farm Stadium, which is the home of the Arizona Cardinals. Which unfortunately they did not make it to the playoffs this season. But yeah, but let me know down in the comment section right down below. Like what any wildfire that's going to be happening in California that does not happen, at least for this game's sake. Like, and this is where we could, and yeah, and this is where we could see like the and this is where hopefully that this excuse me, like well I'm trying that this game will I hope this game will be a success, like which I probably we will be making a review of right after I make Monday Night Raw on Netflix, like which that will be this coming Monday on January I'll say 13th, the 13th, but yeah, I will be making the review video of that as well, and who's going to be the winner, who's going to be moving on to face either I'll say the Detroit Lions or any of the other teams that make it in the middle. Like maybe it could be I don't know, Tampa Bay Buccaneers or what's their names? The Buccaneers. They're not really the Tampa Bay. I'll say Rams will probably take. I'll say not really I'll say Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll say maybe more likely the Philadelphia Eagles or the Detroit Lions. Let me rephrase that. Like who's going to be depending on who's going to win in the middle or the bottom. Which Philadelphia wins and they get to face somebody that's in the that was also in the wild card. Like is in the middle side. Like they faced in, but whoever wins in the bottom part side, like they're going to be facing what's their name? That's the bottomest of the playoff picture. They're going to be facing Detroit next week. Like the same with the AFC side with the Chiefs. They'll probably face whoever that's in the lowest, considering they're in the number one seed, which is going to be it's going to be a very successful win. But California, from one California disaster to another, as the Rams practice in the which is north of they call it the Palisades fire in smoke could seen from the facility on Thursday, which is today, which I'm gonna show you a video of of the crazy wildfire. That's insane. That in person before, and even if I seen the smoke fire right over a building, not as much as big as this one in comparison. But also we got another sport that game that's been postponed, which was the Lakers and the Kings. A 4-game on Thursday against the Charlotte Hornets, but that game has been postponed due to the wildfires. It will be made up at a later date. The Lakers next game is scheduled for Saturday against the San Antonio Spurs. And this was been stated from ESPN. Like the entire NBA family sends its thoughts and supports the community of Los Angeles during this challenging time. Like in NBA's statement read, we are grateful for the thousands of local firefighters and first responders who have demonstrated enormous bravery. Like our prayers remain with those affected by the unimaginable devastation caused by the wildfires. And if you're a victim that happened to be out there, that's also an assassinator. I want to send my I'll say send my well wishes of fire have been in effect to you guys, and I hope that that did not hit your place, wherever you're resigning at in the case. And also and if so, I hope right away, and I